I think his name is Daniel McAdams. Is Ron Paul's co-host, was talking about the action that happened in Yemen may be the greatest military success in history, he said. I'm not a military expert, but that's a huge statement, because what happened is the Saudis were ambushed near the Yemeni border, and like 2,000 Saudis were taken prisoner and about 500 died in the offensive. It's a major victory for the Houthis. And this after Yemen just they attacked the oil field in Saudi Arabia, and thereafter or afterward they they offered a truce or at least a ceasefire. They wanted to stop the war. That's what they were always saying, is we want the war to end, and if you won't end it, then we will. That's kind of the thing. But then after the oil field thing, it was like, okay, now can we stop? But the Saudis did this crazy retaliation. I know that they said Iran did it, but no, they retaliated on Yemen. So who do you think did it? They retaliated on Yemen, and then Yemen pulls this. So the Saudis will be best off running home with their tail between their legs before they lose even more. Because the Saudi soldiers are not war. They're used to executing aerial bombardment, not on the ground fighting, and the Houthis are. They're used to starvation and all that good stuff. They have not much to live for. In other words, they'll do anything to protect what they do have. It's existential for the Houthis. For the Saudis, it's a conquest. So when you get to the ground operations, when it comes to that, it doesn't go so well for you if you're just in it for the money. Israel's found that out invading Lebanon, and history has kind of borne that out. If you go into a really poor country with wealthy soldiers, even with your technology differences, prepare to have your ass handed to you. And that's what Yemen has done to Saudi Arabia now. And they still are on the moral high ground, because Saudis are the aggressors. They've been committing genocide on Yemen for 4 years plus now. So this is justified, and it's one of those things, every once in a while you hear really good news. Like truly the underdog wins kind of a story. I know it's not the end of the story, but I have hopes. It's at least a fair or a good chapter in it. Although, sorry 500 people lost their lives. That's really sad. And so is the tens of millions of people starving to death in Yemen now at the hands of the Saudis. So with all respect to the 500 people who died, and with even more respect for the millions of innocent people who are dying, this is a good day for them.